Being a Formula One driver can be rewarding. You're showered with love, fame, and most important of all, fortune. But despite what many of us see on the television, being an F1 or even F2 driver can be extremely stressful. One such stressed-out driver is the 21-year-old Aussie Oscar Piastri. Why, you ask? You'll have to watch the video to find out. First up, the king of F2? There's no doubt about the fact that Piastri is one of the best junior drivers out there. He's only raced for F2 for one season, and guess what? He won it. This achievement resulted in him joining the exclusive club consisting of the likes of Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton, and Nico Hülkenberg, the only drivers to win the F2 title in their rookie seasons. His more than stellar junior career catapulted him right into F1. Let's not forget though, folks, Piastri might be the up-and-coming world champion, but he has a long way to go. As of right now, he's the reserve driver for the Alpine F1 racing team, the team which previously raced as Renault, mostly because he's only 21. But apart from that, because he's quite inexperienced compared to the other drivers. Next, Piastri overshadowed by one great and above-average racer? As of right now, Alpine is racing with two veteran racers, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. We don't ever need to go deep into how good a racer Alonso is or isn't. If you've ever watched F1, you already know who the guy is. Alonso retired in the 2019 season with McLaren, but then he decided to come out of retirement to race with Alpine. Esteban Ocon is also an experienced driver who's so far driven for the likes of Renault, Mercedes, and Force India. So anyways, our favorite junior racer might be replacing Alonso by the start of the 2023 season. Not because he's not good, he's great and brings the kind of experience and sophistication to the team that only the likes of Hamilton can bring. But because at 40 years old, he's a little over the average retiring age. He could also replace Esteban Ocon, but he'll have to wait till 2024. That's when Ocon's contract with Alpine ends. Whoever Piastri ends up replacing, he'll definitely have his work cut out for him. Racing with a team like Alpine alongside a veteran racer won't be easy, especially since he'll be barely 22 at the time. So how much longer will Piastri have to wait? The Aussie is one of the hottest young talents in world motorsport right now, and whether it's next year or the year after that, it's quite likely that he'll be racing for F1 at some point. Good news though, the young gun Oscar Piastri should know if he's driving in Formula One next year within a few months. Normally, it would have been quite clear. Make Piastri wait a couple of seasons while he gains experience. Although his stellar junior career has given the French team a dilemma over its driver lineup for 2023. As of right now, Esteban Ocon is locked into a long-term contract, so he won't be replaced. But his teammate Fernando Alonso's contract expires at the end of this year. At the time of the contract expiring, Alonso will be a whopping 41 years old. Yet Alonso, a two-time world champion, has shown peaks of his best form despite trailing Esteban in the standings. And he's made it clear he would like to stay in F1 beyond this season. Alpine's driver situation isn't as straightforward as it seems. So with Piastri, a crazy good driver, waiting in the reserves, Alpine has got a tough choice to make. Will they keep Alonso next season or sack him for Piastri? They could also keep Alonso and Ocon and maybe wait till Ocon's contract expires and then replace him with Piastri. Don't worry, fellow Formula One fans, we'll only have to wait a month or so for the decision. Alpine has said that it will be deciding in mid-July, around the time of the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. We haven't thought that through yet because it's a little early, Alpine team principal Otmar Szafnauer said while talking about its driver lineup for next year. But around Silverstone, we will probably make a decision. But wait folks, it gets a little bit more complicated than that. There has been speculation that Piastri could even be loaned out to Williams, since Nicholas Latifi is struggling to match the pace of his teammate Alex Albon. Szafnauer does not understand that Piastri needs to be spending more time on the track and less time on his chair, especially if he's going to be any use to Alpine in the next seasons. Out of everyone though, we believe Australians will be the most excited to see Piastri on the track, because in that case, two Australians, Ricciardo and Piastri, will be racing together for the first time in F1's history. Well, let's try to hang tight till Silverstone. Now, let's talk about some other news coming out of the F1 world. Let's especially talk about this Sunday's race in Monaco. First, heavy rain delays the Monaco Grand Prix. This Sunday's race in Monaco was delayed after heavy rain poured on the streets of Monaco. The original start for the race was halted when moderate rain fell on the circuit. The cars then followed the safety car to begin their formulation lap 9 minutes after the race was actually scheduled to start. Then heavier rain began to fall. This caused the FIA F1 race director Eduardo Freitas to abandon the initial start, summoning the drivers back into the pits with a red flag. And then, when everyone thought things couldn't get worse, they did. The rain then interfered with power units at the grid. The gantry and the lights panel were damaged. This further delayed efforts to start the race. The Grand Prix then eventually started 65 minutes later than its scheduled start time. The race did stop for a bit in the middle due to Mick Schumacher's crash crash. Let's talk more about that, folks. Next, Mick Schumacher survives car accident. Magnussen has water trouble. Michael Schumacher's son Mick Schumacher's Haas car split in half as he spun out of control and collided with the barrier during the wet Monaco Grand Prix. The incident occurred on the 15th turn when the 23-year-old legacy driver lost control of his car on the wet tarmac. He then clipped the wall with his front wing and spun and smashed into the Tech Pro barrier. Despite the wall being Tech Pro, it still managed to snap the car in half, with the rear wing and rear tires entirely separated from the rest of the car. The fact that Schumacher was able to leave the car by himself without any assistance shows how far safety laws have come. Modern-day Formula 1 cars are built to be quite safe. The Monaco GP was just absolutely terrible for Haas. Not only did Schumacher crash, but also their second driver, Kevin Magnussen, was not able to finish the race. They faced a double retirement. Magnussen was able to climb a few positions to emerge in the top 10, then sadly, the Danish was forced to retire after 21 laps due to a power unit issue. Water had leaked into the ERS system of his car, which is why he was forced to retire. Talk about bad luck. Haas F1 team will be returning for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on the 12th of June. And finally, Red Bull Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen cheated or got lucky. Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen have both avoided penalties for alleged pit exit infringements after they were investigated by the FIA because of Ferrari's protests. Perez gets to keep his first Monaco GP win and Verstappen takes third as stewards dismiss Ferrari's claims. They believed that both Red Bull drivers should have gotten 5-second penalties for crossing the yellow line that appears on the exit of the pit stop. This would have put Carlos Sainz in the first position and Charles Leclerc in the second position, a more than ideal scenario for Ferrari. On Perez, the FIA said that the Mexican racer did not have any part of its front or rear tires on the left of the yellow line, and concluded that Ferrari's claims were unfounded. On Verstappen's alleged breach, FIA said there was an agreement from both Ferrari and Red Bull that a part of his tire was left of the yellow line. This is where it gets a little complicated, folks. Verstappen's tire did not cross the line, however, it did go over it. Ferrari claims that according to the rules, Verstappen's tire shouldn't have even been on the line to begin with. Well, this is not the first, and it's definitely not the last time a dispute like this is taking place. For now, Red Bull has clearly won this round of the war. Ferrari has 2 weeks to plan their revenge on Red Bull. Let's see what they have planned for us at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on the 12th of June. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Where do y'all think our junior star Oscar Piastri will end up next year? Will he be loaned out to Williams? Will he replace Alonso, or will he continue sitting on the bench? Let us all know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Bye!